everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if it's your very first time here, hi, my name is Missa, and yes, I've got my makeup on and my pyjamas. Thou must forgiveth me. We're only doing brows in today's video, so I'm also not wearing lip gloss. I'm wearing this NYX lip conditioner because I got dry and crusties and they're pretty gross. So yeah, as you can see by the title, today I am doing my updated brow routine. I have been getting so many requests to do this because now my brows are fat and they used to be very skinny. Like, look at this post that I put up on my Instagram stories recently. Someone liked a video that I put up like not that long ago, and my brows actually scare me, and now they're really chubby and I much prefer it, and I think the vast majority of you do as well. I could be accused of being an overplucker in my time. Oh, I'll put a timestamp on screen now for when the brow routine starts, because I'll probably I'll pinch just before it begins. So yeah, I've been an overplucker for quite a while. I've stopped plucking for probably a month, maybe a month and a half now, and my brows are growing in much thicker. This eyebrow is much more well behaved than this eyebrow, but I will say the product that I use religiously when I'm growing my brows back in is this. It's the Long Four Lashes. It's by Oceanic. I've never heard of that brand. It's an eyelash serum, but I obviously just use it on my brows. I put this on every night religiously. I have one beside my bed and I've got one in my beauty room, and I just slather it on my brows. It's a little pricey. I buy it off Just My Look. I will of course link everything down below, but very, very worth the money. Trust me on that one. The other product, I got sent this a while ago. This is by Eye Candy Professional. This is the Brow Accelerate with Sim Hair Force 1631. Sounds like a jet aeroplane, but anyway, I just put this on after I put this on now, just because I'm like, two is better than one. So hope I get double the eyebrow hairs back. I'm gonna be the first to admit that my eyebrow routine, first of all, takes me at least 10 years to put on. Like, I hate doing eyebrows. I use quite a lot of product, and the products I use are on the high end. However, once you buy them, they're gonna last you like well over a year, because you don't use them up that fast. So there's also a tool that I use now. I bought this on Amazon, and it's this like weird thing. I think it's for microblading your eyebrows. Like I said, this will be linked down below. I always forget, but this will be, I promise. And I am someone that struggles with having my eyebrows actually start at the same place. Like, one will usually start like here and one will start down here. It looks ridiculous. So by getting this tool and using it, I can kind of map out where both of my brows need to start. And yeah, I think that's enough fanning around for one day. Let's jump into a very highly requested video, and you better all watch this because I hate doing my brows. So I am doing you all a big favor. So this is a quick before of my brow. As you can see, it's growing in. There are some hairs that are coming back, thankfully, but it's not the greatest of all brows, but it's really not the worst, maybe. So the first thing that I do is I take my concealer. I like the Too Faced Born This Way sculpting concealer, and I'm gonna blend this out around my brows with a big fluffy brush. Any concealer will do, you don't have to use a high-end one or this one. I also put the concealer like through my brow hairs because it's gonna help the powder to stick to my brow area. And also it's a good way to make like an indent, I'll show you what I mean in my next step, so that my brows start at the same point as each other. So yeah, just put that concealer all here, there and everywhere basically. So then I take my weird eyebrow tool that I got on Amazon. I think it's for microblading, and I rest it on my nose, and then I get the lowest point of my left eyebrow because that's the one that starts lower, and I literally like press this into my skin, and it's gonna end up leaving us with a line that's like indented into our face, but honestly, it obviously doesn't hurt, don't worry about that, and this line disappears very quickly. So yeah, now I've got this line. I have a habit of raising my right eyebrow, so it does kind of look like it's wonky, but it will look fine when it's done. The next product I'm going to take is a must for me. I can't do my eyebrows without some kind of powder. This one is just my favourite one, especially because it's the only one I've got in blonde, and it is the ABH Dual Brow Powder in blonde. Actually, it's called Brow Powder Dual. I got that wrong my whole life. I use blonde because I don't like having that really blocky brow kind of look, and blonde is so much lighter than my actual like hair and my brow hair, and it just works, trust me. So yeah, I'm going to take this, and the tool, my favourite tool that I've discovered, and I've used this for probably a couple of, no, not a couple of years, at least a year now, is the Zoeva 317 wing liner brush. I actually have two from different sets. I think these are £7, £8 or £9 online. Honestly, so worth your money. This one, which I've been using the most recently, it is so fine and so thin at the tip that you can do the most precise little lines with it. I've forever been using like chunky brushes, and they're just not the ones for me. So what I'm gonna do is just take the brow powder. It's got two different shades. I think you can see that there. I just take the lighter one. And from where that line is, I just drag this straight across. This powder, like, it isn't quite as light as you might think, but it is lighter than my actual brow hairs. So straight across like that. Sorry if I'm falling off. I'm trying to look in the mirror because I just feel like brows need precision. Sorry about the men shouting outside. And then I've got some hairs, like actual hairs down here, and I do like the chunky brow, so I'll just curve it off so that I get most of those hairs within my line. And the ABH thing is that it should line up with the side of your nose, so I think I've got it fine there. And then the side of your nose to here should be where it ends. And then I just fill this in with the brow powder. I would never ever fill in my brows these days with dipped brow pomade because it's just too stark. And yeah, that concealer works in two ways. First of all, it means that when I put my foundation on, it'll look like I've got right up close to my brows. And secondly, it helps this brow powder really stick to it so that it's not, because sometimes if you just put it straight on your skin, it doesn't stick that well. And then I'm just gonna brush my brows down a bit, but I'm gonna leave this front bit up just to know how high I should have my brow, but I will pull the rest down gently. That was just a brow pencil with a spoolie. Use any spoolie you've got, and I fill in the whole brow. And remember, if you do like make it too high or wobbly, like I will have made mine wobbly, I can just go back and clean it up with concealer, so I'm not worried about that just now. I'll just fill in this back arch, whatever the technical name is for it. And I do take that powder at the very front, but I tend to just like put it up like I'm doing brush strokes, because I don't want the front of my brow to be square. And you can see down here it's not as dark as it is up here. That's because obviously I've got hair up there. So that's when I'll take the darker side of the brow powder And I tend to put the darker bit down here. It's still blonde, it's still not really stark. But I do find it's just a bit easier for blending in your brow strokes when we come with the pomade to have this bit filled in a bit darker. I used to use dark brown pomade to do this, like I have just block brows. And even up at that top arch I use a bit of the darker bit. There we go. I honestly think I could get away with just this. Maybe that wasn't a fart, that was my elbow. If I just used my tip of my brush just to do little strokes and then say I put eyebrow gel on, I think it would actually be fine. But I like to go the extra hog, don't I? So everything's got to be more when it comes to my makeup. You can see already the difference between my two brows is incredible. Just that little bit of brow powder makes a massive difference, I think. So my next step is of course my dip brow. I do like the Benefit Brow, I do use that quite a lot. But dip brow is the one that I always go back to. And I use dark brown because I want it to stand out against the blonde powder. And I want the hairs to look like hairs, and I find that when I use a lighter colour it just doesn't look quite as hair-like. I do find that dip brow can dry out quite quickly and it's an expensive product. So what you do is you just take a drop of baby oil or any kind of like facial oil, just drop one drop into your little pot of dip brow and it's going to re-energize, it's going to be like new, I promise. I like to put my drop in the cap because then my main dip brow isn't getting too wet, because I do like semi-dry dip brow and not super wet dip brow. I do think that's quite important, because if it's super wet it just smudges and gets all blocky, whereas if it's semi-dry to quite dry then I find that it actually works better. So I'm just gonna grab some on my brush and I'm purposefully like getting it on both sides of my brush so that it's still getting squeezed together, the brush hairs, so that they're really nice and sharp. So I'm going to start just using the tip and putting little strokes in willy-nilly. If you press hard it's going to deposit quite a lot and not be as precise, so you want to press really gently. When it comes to this like outer lower part, I take the brow hairs like straight out because I want them to be really fluffy and full. I don't want it to be like really perfect. Up at this top part here where my brows naturally like grow downwards, that's where I start doing the like downward strokes. Follow like what looks natural to your brows, so don't like put hairs going downwards when they should be going upwards and vice versa, if you know what I mean. Hopefully I can't lean on anything, so I don't have it. I always lean on something to do my brows. And when it comes to the front of my brow, that's where I actually take the most time. Oh, that noise. So this is where I dip into the lid, and you can see there's like product on the lid with the oil, so I'll like dip into the oil and then like grab the product from the side, because I don't want it to be as opaque as the back of my brow. This is where I take the most time as well, because I think this can really like make your brow look really fat and good. So I'll just do the same thing. I'll use the very tip of the brush and do the upward strokes. I slant them off to the side. I'm like barely touching my brow. Right, this is the most important part. This is where you will not have like block brows and the front won't look like a square. So you're going to take your brush and you're going to angle it inwards. Just do some like shorter ones at the very front and then longer ones. So you could really leave it here and be done with the brow. It does look a lot better. But I actually like to not have it so uniform so that they can both not match exactly and still look like they match, if you know what I mean. So I actually like to take a very small amount of dip brow, same brush, and I'm gonna go outside the lines very, very gently. And I'm gonna add in like some rogue hairs. Just all the way along. And if I just brush this back up, it's very important to do this because you might notice some bald patches. Like this one just here. Tiny bit more dip brow, just to fill in the gap really. We're getting like constant thunderstorms right now. And first of all, that noise you hear is the rain, not the banging. It's super, super heavy. But second of all, it's quite good because it means that the men that are doing the gardening have pissed off. Finally, is that a bad word? They've gone away. So usually I would have told you to get Benefit Gimme Brow because it's the best brow setting stuff on the planet. It is incredible. Still think that. Will still use it up. However, since discovering the Essence Make Me Brow, which people have been telling me to use for years and I've never bought it. Anyway, this brow is incredible. This brow gel is incredible. It is so full of fibers. It's amazing. The only thing is a lot does come out on the tip, so you can just like take some off on the tip, which I tend to do, just on the bottle cap. But what to do is never start it at the front of your brow. So start it where your brows are like the thickest and just start chucking it on. It is just so full of fibers, which really thicken up your brows. Then when you get to the front, just use a light hand. Because honestly, you can put on too much brow gel. I like to make sure my hairs are all kind of messy, thick, full, standing up, like bouncing up and down as I put this on. Here we are then. This is my finished brow. I think it looks a lot better than the other one. Nice and thick and fat, you know? I like a nice fat brow. I'm gonna kill the person that keeps making those banging noises. I just think a big fat brow makes all the difference. And personally, on my face, it looks a lot better than my like really skinny Instagram brow that I used to do. I was gonna say of yesteryear. So I'll quickly throw on my I'll quickly throw on my other one and I'll be right back. So yeah, as I previously explained, I can't film doing my brows. I like to do my brows at the same time. I find I can match them better. These do not match. Like, really that much. This one needs more of an arch. This other one is too highly arched to match the other one. But yeah, I struggle to make them match when I film. That's why I said I really didn't want to film my brows, because they just don't match. But that is my brow routine, and usually I can get them to match, obviously, way better, because you see them in my videos all the time. But that is how I do my brows. I use a lot of product, and it takes me a while, but I do think that the finished result looks wholly better than the undone brows. So that is it for me today. I hope this video helped you in any way if you want to get fat brows or you want to see how I do my brows. And like I said, everything will be linked down below in the description box. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful in some way to you. Just don't look at this brow, look at this brow, or just look at this brow, not this one, because when I do them at the same time they match. So for all of you that requested this video, I hope it helped. I do want to say a huge massive thank you to all of my Patreons. Thank you so much for supporting me in a financial manner on my channel. It really helps because obviously I lost my job due to health issues in January, so it's been a tremendous help having you been able to support me in some way financially on my channel. I just bought the Jeffree Star palette with some Patreon money, so I can review that on my channel. If you're not a Patreon, you don't want to be, you can't be, just know that watching my videos and being subscribed and liking and commenting and doing all of that jazz, that's a massive support. So by doing that, you really are supporting me as well, so don't in any way feel obligated or pressured or anything about Patreon. It's purely optional. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye everyone.
I will never get it right. I still have you on my side, staying night after night, 'cause you're mine, 'cause it's just behind